Welcome back to Drysdale Field, where the Northwestern Wildcats will play a second game of a doubleheader against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Cats coming off a huge win in the first game, 4-2. Now remember, Mississippi State is a ranked team, number 19, sitting at 25-6, while Northwestern, or 26-6 rather, while Northwestern is 14-10. I'm Pierson Strandquist here with Tomas Moran once again. And Tomas, what did you see after that first game?
Yeah, Pierson, that first game was a really great show of force for Northwestern. They did a really good job at just outlasting this Mississippi State team. They did a really good job at showing grit, showing fight, right, in the elements. And it was a low-scoring game, right, 4-2. But at the end of the day, this Northwestern team, they managed to just grit and grind and find a way to win, you know, even in adverse conditions. So it was really impressive. But now in this doubleheader, again, it's so hard to beat a team back-to-back, twice in a row. And this Mississippi State team, they have a lot of firepower. They're going to come out swinging, and it'll be interesting to see what they do, but it'll be difficult for the Cats to repeat what they did earlier this afternoon.
And Tomas, do we have starting lineups?
We do indeed have starting lineups. So for Mississippi State, we have Sierra Sacco, Nadia Barbary, Jessie Blaine, Kylie Edwards, Kiara Sells, Morgan Bernardini, Ella Wasilowski, Riley Hull, Morgan Stiles, and Delaney Everett will be pitching. Meanwhile, for Northwestern, Grace Nieto, Kelsey Nader, Kaylee Avasado, Kansas Robinson, Bridget Donahue, Izzy Kania, Emma Ray, Lauren Saborski, Avery Garden, and Riley Grudzielanek. So both teams, of course, with different pitchers in the circle. Other than that, very few changes. The only changes, it looks like there's a Lauren Saborski will be the designated player for the Wildcats.
And as we get started, Riley Grudzielanek, obviously the designated player to start the game last, is going to start pitching out here. And she already has 2 strikes. A little bit of a late start for us, technologically. Unfortunately, we'll have no commercial breaks again, so Tomas and I will be bringing you this entire game with no breaks. As Sierra Sacco slices one foul into the left field stands. Now, Tomas, I mean, the sun is shining, but it's still a balmy 32 degrees here. It is freezing. It is a frozen tundra, and Northwestern conquered it in the first one. As a strike comes in here, actually, no, about another different call by the umpire. Now we have Dick Sorensen at home plate. Michael Hers, the crew chief, last time moves to third. He looked like he was going to motion for a strikeout and instead called a ball. That was a nice pitch by Grudzielanek. Obviously, Tomas, Grudzielanek was the 14-0 pitcher. So he was the one who lost that game. As once again, another ball. So it goes from 0-2 to 2-2. As Northwestern looks to win 2 in a row here today.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough to beat a team back-to-back. Grudzielanek with a 3.95 ERA, 6-6 on the season. She's going to want to take away, kind of exercise those demons from yesterday. You know, a 14-0 loss, will never go down well no matter who you play against. So
as the third ball's in.
We'll see how that motivates her.
And we have a 3-2 count here today. I mean, we've talked. I mean, talk about storylines. I mean, this Northwestern team, a huge win against a ranked opponent. Their first one of the season, what would be called a Q&W win. As the pitch is in from Grudzielanek, and almost off the glove of Bridget Donahue at third. And it looks like they'll stay at first base. So a nice hit for Sierra Sacco. No hits in that last game. Her average started off at 511. She's at 495 now. Finally gets back before that 500 mark with a single here.
And that's unfortunate for Donahue, who's had such a good game at third base, but just wasn't able to get the catch to go there. And now we have Sierra Sacco on first base. She had a very quiet first game. In fact, her batting average went down to 495 after that one game, but she manages to get on base in her first at-bat here.
Grudzielanek looking to pitch. She says no to the sign, comes back again. Slots it in, and it's foul off the bat of Nadia Barbary, the third baseman for Mississippi State. Mississippi State already off to a better start. 1-2-3 in the first inning of the first game in this doubleheader. Now back up, Barbary up to bat, a hit in that one.
And it indeed did not hit a car this time, that foul ball. So
this is true. Grudzielanek with the pitch, and that's just a bit outside. The catcher for the Cats, once again, Emma Ray, motioning to try to stop a steal, but Sierra Sacco gets back in time to first base. Grudzielanek setting up once again.
Murray very attentive with those possible steals. She's been very good at that all day long.
Grudzielanek accepts the sign. Goes in. And another ball on the left side. That was just a bit too inside. Good at bat so far from Barbary. 2 balls, 1 strike. You can tell she's just waiting for the pitch that she wants. For Riley Grudzielanek, not really many pitch mix, just kind of a fastball and a slow ball, kind of no differentiation there. 6-6 record so far with the .395 year and the season. And it's another ball in there for Grudzielanek, a 3-1 count. This is the type of thing where in the last game, Lauren Boyd was able to come back from these 3-1 counts. So it'll be important to see if Grudzielanek can do the same or if she will succumb to what she did when the Cats lost 14-0. Grudzielanek with the pitch. And the payoff is a ball. She walks Nadia Barbary. First and second, no outs for the Cats at the start of this one. Game was supposed to start at 3 p.m. Originally it was 3:30, 3 p.m. The first pitch ended up being at 2:50. As coming up to bat is number 22, Jessie Blaine. She was the catcher in the last one. She's a designated player. Hit a huge home run in that game to narrowed the lead to 2 for Mississippi State. Unfortunately, it was not enough for the Bulldogs, but Blaine improved her average to 347 in that game. The senior.
And this is a dangerous situation for Northwestern to be in. Mississippi State with players on first and second.
Grudzielanek with the pitch. That's right down the middle. Nice pitch. That's what we call a heat check over here. I mean, you need some warmth in the tundra, Tomas, and, kind of get a little bit of the heat down, or a little bit of the heat up for Northwestern and kind of melt some of the ice.
Absolutely. The Cats need to get something going here.
Grudzielanek with the pitch and a swing and a miss. Jessie Blaine now down 0-2. Now the question is, can Grudzielanek come back? Obviously, gave up a single in the first at bat when she had 2 strikes. Has to stay focused here.
Jessie Blaine, a player who hit a home run earlier today.
The payoff pitch from Grudzielanek. Strike 3 called. A swing and a miss, a whiff for Jessie Blaine. The senior goes down swinging, and the first out for the Cats. That is huge, Tomas.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, not just because it's the Cats' first strikeout of the game, but in terms of for Grudzielanek, right, to demonstrate that she has it in her. She can do it. She can strike out these high-powered players from Mississippi State and, kind of send a message.
Now Kylie Edwards coming up to bat. A hit in the last one. Kind of started at the first inning of runs for the Bulldogs in that last one. Edwards, and a little bloop single right over the head of Kansas Robinson, and throw to the plate, and safe. Kansas Robinson almost with the throw there, but the Bulldogs get the first run on the board on a bloop single by Kylie Edwards. That was a lucky one, Tomas. Kind of just a little screamer. I didn't even know what to say, but just unlucky for the Cats.
Very unfortunate. Sierra Sacco ends up getting
Number 9,
to home plate for the Bulldogs, and this is exactly the start that you don't want if you're the Northwestern Wildcats. Mississippi State getting on base, getting scores early. They're a very high-powered offense, and if they get going, it's hard to make them stop.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Grudzielanek in the first game of this 3-game series. She gave up 3 runs in the first, and that first inning was not good for the Cats. Obviously, the opposite happened last game with Lauren Boyd going 1-2-3, and so, for the Cats, this is a tough position to start off for Grudzielanek. But we'll see if she can overcome and prevent a repeat of that horrendous first game. Grudzielanek with the pitch, just a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes here in the first inning. The Bulldogs now up 1-0 in the top of the first.
Yeah, and Kiara Sells at bat, if you recall, she had that insane homer earlier today that went onto the roof of Welsh Ryan Arena.
Grudzielanek with the pitch. A nice screwball there from Grudzielanek. A nice movement there. Kiara Sells just could not catch up to that one. It was weird because she was expecting a fastball. Instead, she got a slower one. A good first strike and a good challenge pitch from Grudzielanek.
Sells batting .330 on the season.
The pitch, low and inside. That's not what you want to do. Grudzielanek is continuing to get behind in counts. This would happen in the first one. And it's a little bit concerning. Already a pitch circle visit for the Cats. Grudzielanek has to figure something out.
Yeah, this can get out of hand, and it can get out of hand quickly, like we learned yesterday. So it's a slippery slope, right? I think last game Northwestern did a really good job, right, of slowing the game down, making it low scoring, making it grimy, not a lot of players getting on base. And Mississippi State didn't really know how to handle that. But if Mississippi State can start, batting lights out, they start getting on base, it becomes a faster paced game in terms of scoring. Northwestern can't keep up with that. And that's really dangerous.
For sure, Tomas. I mean, they cannot fall too far behind this one, or else it might be too much to handle for the Wildcats. I mean, a great win in the first one. I mean, it's hard to win 2 in a row against the number 19 team. You have to be almost perfect. So far, the Cats have not started off perfect, as Dick Sorensen, the home plate umpire, is telling them to break up the pitch circle visit. And for the Bulldogs, I mean, a good start for them. This is what they wanted. The Cats defensively in their purple uniforms once again. No changes. Wouldn't make sense for them to in their homes. And the Bulldogs in their white pinstripe aways. Pinstripes obviously being maroon, the color of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Gruzielanek, 2-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss once again. A nice two-seam fastball for Gruzielanek. And that's what you need. I mean, when you're a pitcher like Gruzielanek, kind of up and down this entire season, a 500 record and a 4 ERA. I mean, things have been up and down for her. It was looking much better going into the first Mississippi State game, but her ERA went a lot down when she gave so many runs. And that ball by Sellers is going to go over the cars this time in the right field, kind of parking lot, into the construction zone. No construction workers this time at the start of this game. I think their lunch break might be over.
It appears to be so, but the car count will stay at 3 from earlier in the game. But
still more, it's tied now with the runs of Mississippi State in both of these games. Is a ball, just another lone inside. Gruzielanek keeps trying to hit that inside corner and keeps missing by a couple inches. That one by a couple feet. So a 3-2 count, first and third, 1-0 Bulldogs. Let's see what Gruzielanek can do. The payoff pitch. And that's a ball for the bases are loaded. This is the opposite of what Gruzielanek wanted. If she wanted to start differently than Friday, this was not the way to do it. Almost the exact same situation as before.
And now you have Morgan Bernardini on base with the bases, or on at bat with the bases loaded. Very, very dangerous. Bernardini has 3 home runs on the season, batting .333 on the year.
Yeah, and Bernardini kind of is due after getting only 1 hit in that last one. But again, the same line of 300 pitchers, over 300 batting averages rather, as it strikes in there. Good pitch by Gruzielanek. I think she's going to have to start challenging them, Tomas. I mean, Lauren Boyd was able to kind of do this kind of, let's throw a few balls and then get back into the count. Gruzielanek cannot afford to do that here with the bases loaded.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a potentially lethal at-bat for the Northwestern Wildcats.
The pitch to Bernardini. And a second strike. That's a foul ball. Hits kind of a barrier next to the parking lot, some sort of construction material. Hopefully that doesn't dent, and maybe we'll see that little dent, in the construction of the new Welsh Ryan field. Or, sorry, not Welsh Ryan, just the Ryan field. But maybe if there's a dent of a softball on the concrete, that's what you know.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
0-2, Gruzielanek with the payoff. Just a bit outside. Good take there for Bernardini. The junior batting .333, a hit in the last one. Again, I mean, imagine batting .333, Tomas, and not even being in the top 5 batting average on your team. I mean, that is just insane. It's just a testament to how good this Bulldogs team is.
Absolutely.
Gruzielanek once again. And this is little fly ball to the center fielder. A sac fly attempt, and Gruzielanek cuts it off. Another run for the Bulldogs. A sac fly for Bernardini as Barbary comes home. A good throw attempt by the center fielder for the Cats, Kelsey Nader, but there was no chance in that one, and a smart cutoff by Gruzielanek.
It wasn't as dangerous for the Cats as it could have been. But still, you hate to see Northwestern giving up another run so early. It's already 2-0. 2 outs, but still not a great start.
Strike one, nice pitch there. Gruzielanek, a lot of first pitch strikes, and the Bulldogs are taking. They showed that they would just take a lot in the last one, so have to keep tacking that. First and second here. The runner in scoring position, 2 outs in the top of the first, 2-0 Bulldogs. Gruzielanek, strike 2, a swing and a miss by Ella Wesolowski, the sophomore. Got a pinch hit at bat in the 7th of the last game to no avail. A really good play by Avasado, the shortstop for Northwestern, to get the second out of that inning. And Wazalowski getting the start here. Wazalowski, a little dribbler to the shortstop, Avasado, nice play to first, gets it over to Kansas Robinson, and the Cats squeak out of the inning, only 2 runs. And Tomas, I mean, I'd say all in all, they limited the damage, which is what they needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, Northwestern, they were able to kind of minimize the harm that, occurred in that first inning. Still not ideal, a couple of runs, but it definitely could have been worse. And Avasado still performing very well at shortstop for the Wildcats, picking up those balls and just finding a way to get those outs. So, not ideal, but certainly not the end of the world for Northwestern, who will now go at bat.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just that's huge for the Wildcats to get out of that inning. Grudzielanek gave up 3 runs in the first on Friday, only 2 in this one, which means the game is still comebackable. However, the Cats will have to face Delaney Everett of the Bulldogs, who has, if you thought that it was good when they faced Raylan Chaffin with their 125 ERA, how about 113? An insane 5-0 record for Delaney Everett, 11 appearances, 6 games started, very little runs, only 5 earned runs given up on the season. So this will be really tough for the Wildcats with such a great pitcher in the game for the Mississippi State. Defensively, Mississippi State in the outfield, they have Sierra Sacco at center field once again, Kira Sells in right field once again, Morgan Bernardini in left. Then in the infield, third baseman Nadia Barbary, second baseman Morgan Stiles, first baseman Riley Hull, and shortstop Kylie Edwards, all the same from the last game. The one change, Ellie Wazalowski will play catcher in this one as Jesse Blaine moves to designated player, as we said before. And for the Cats, Tomas, I mean, they have to get off to a hot start here as well. I mean, they got their runs in the first inning and the last one, and I feel like they're going to have to do it again if they want to come back.
Yeah, it's really going to be necessary for this Northwestern team. They can't afford to really fall behind here and play catch up with Mississippi State because the Bulldogs are just too quick. So for Northwestern, it's all about getting on the board here in this bottom of the first.
And Grace Nito will come up to bat, looking to mash the ball once again, showing off her speed in the last one. With a lot of kind of like dribblers and bunt attempts from Nito, we'll see if she decides to attack more. Only 1 home run in the year, so not too much power for the senior. Nito tries to bunt again predictably and does not make contact with the ball. Strike 1.
Yeah, and once again, the same play does not work for the Cats.
Nito batting .375, second on the team, and 27 hits on the year. So, I mean, it's overall been a decent season for Nito, but she needs to do more on the leadoff position. I mean, as a leadoff hitter, you need to get on base here when you're down 2 in the first. Delaney Everett looking to pitch. She fires, and a swing and a miss for Grace Nito. Good pitch there from Delaney Everett. Just blew it by her. I mean, that was such a quick pitch. No turnaround. Good play there, although the umps are looking potentially for a pitch clock violation. We'll see what the call is here.
Well, and that ball, it hit Morgan Stiles' hand. She wasn't able to catch it, and not her glove, but her hand without a glove. So they're taking a look at her hand. It looks like it's hurting a bit.
We'll see what the call is. No pitch clock violation, so it will be strike 2. Morgan Stiles getting checked out now. We would go to injury timeout. Of course, we can't go to commercials today as there's problems with our technology. Once again, though, I will say, holding the fort down in the OACR is Calvin Kaplan.
Absolutely.
So shout out to him
Yes.
for producing and engineering this game from there. If you're listening on the radio, that's courtesy of him. If you're listening on YouTube, that's courtesy of us. But we'll see right now, 2-0 lead for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first. The Cats trailing with 2 strikes on Grace Nito. Not the start they're looking for, although a lot of 2-strike hits for the Cats in the last one, so this doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, really, it's so early on, right, that Northwestern, if they can manage to find a way to catch up with this Mississippi State team, right, and just kind of go like for like, then they could make this, a game that goes down to the wire. But the thing is, they can't allow the floodgates to open, right? They can't allow Mississippi State to get like 14 runs like they did yesterday. If Mississippi State really starts to get going and gets a lot of runs out there on the board, it's going to be nearly impossible for Northwestern. If you just look at the numbers alone based on the season, Mississippi State's batting averages and their runs, Northwestern won't be able to keep up. So they have to find a way to limit that Mississippi State offense while at the same time whatever Mississippi State does get on offense scoring-wise, the Cats have to find a way to keep pace with that.
And Morgan Stiles looks like she's going to be okay. The second baseman who kind of got hit just by the foul ball, weirdly, off the net. Additionally, Ella Wasilowski, the other person who's kind of being checked out as a result of that play, looks like she'll be okay. I don't think she was the one who was really injured. But yeah, for the Cats, they just need to keep pushing. Like you said, Tomas, they got to limit the runs, and it's really hard when you're facing a pitcher of Delaney Everett's caliber. And also lefty is just hard to face in this situation when you have an even amount of left and right-handed hitters as the Cats do. But we'll see what Grace Neal did. Kind of got an auto timeout there, maybe a mental reset after going down 0-2 on 2 whiffs. We'll see what happens as Everett looks to deliver the pitch. Everyone's okay.
Yeah, the factor of Everett being a left-handed.
Everett coming in, looking for the call, just a bit outside. Left-handed batter, left-handed pitchers. The outside is in the left batter's box, where right-handed players would usually be. Does not get the call. She really wanted it. Looked a little disappointed into the umpire. We'll see again. The payoff pitch. Everett, and inside there that time. Tried to paint both corners, could not. 2 good takes by Grace Nito. I think that mental reset was helpful to Moss at that little mini injury break. We'll see what happens here.
And that factor of Everett being a lefty is so important, and it really changes the way batters look.
Everett slings it. And a little dribbler down to the second base, and that's going to be an out for Grace Nito. Good play there, routine, of course, for Morgan Stiles. She looks like she's okay. Her throwing arm is completely fine. And Morgan Stiles will be fine.
Kelsey Nader.
Got a nice play second to first. And, as you talked about last game, Kelsey Nader walks up to the Imperial March. She'll look to the Darth Vader. Maybe put that Vader to the Nader. Let's see. Strike 1, unfortunately, takes it. I think both teams are really going to be firing. I think they both don't want to be in this cold, so we're probably going to see a lot of first pitch strikes, first pitch takes. The Cats just have to be ready. Those are the pitches they want to hit.
Absolutely.
Everett delivers. And just a bit outside once again. The interesting thing is when you have an inexperienced catcher like Ella Wasilowski, the framing is going to be a little bit more poor. I think that was a big thing that Jessie Blaine was able to do, the senior. She was able to sell some pitches. Wasilowski not able to do it there. Everett tries again, not able to sell it once again, and that's what I'm talking about, Tomas. Framing is huge for catchers, being able to convince the ump of strikes that were balls. But the Cats will take it, 2-1. Everett says no to the sign, says no to the sign again, ready to pitch, fastball. And this ball is heading towards us behind home plate, and that ball will be out. I think that hit a truck, Tomas.
That hit the bed of a truck, so that takes our car count to 4.
So
four cars hit.
4 cars hit, 4 runs for Mississippi State.
Yeah, all day. The whole day. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any cars get actually damaged. I hope not.
Everett with the pitch. High, good take from Kelsey Nader, 3-2 count. This is what you wanted. Force Delaney Everett to pitch more than she wants, not hit her spots. The biggest thing that she's been affected is she has a lot of good movement that convinces batters to swing. But with the catcher that's inexperienced, it might be here. Everett with the payoff pitch. And ball 4. Good walk, good take from 2-0, or 0-2 rather, to 4-2. Really, really good at bat from Kelsey Nader, 6-pitch at bat. And Kaylee Avasado, double in the last one. Really great defensive plays today so far. We'll see what she's able to do.
Very smart play there from Kelsey Nader. Very patient play there from Kelsey Nader. She was just able to outlast the Bulldogs there.
Everett with the pitch. Another first pitch strike. Tomas, I think the Cats need to be more ready for this. She's throwing them essentially right down the middle with relative ease, and so I think the Cats just need to be more ready when they step into the batter's box. Avasado in her stance. Everett with the pitch. Avasado hits a fly ball deep into the shadows of left field, but Morgan Bernardini will get there. 2 outs for the Bulldogs. Almost out of the inning now. That was good contact by Kaylee Avasado, but unfortunately to no avail.
Yeah, that thing had power on it. It certainly had power on it, but it was a little too easy for the Bulldogs to catch it. It didn't have quite enough to get out of the ballpark, and
I think it was just a little bit of interesting contact. She smashed it, but not enough. as Kelsey Nader goes to steal. Good throw from Wesolowski, but Nader will be safe. Her 8th steal of the season. And the Cats now have someone in scoring position. That's what you want to see as Kansas Robinson comes off. Kansas Robinson had 2 balls in the last one, which were great plays by Mississippi State, robbed of a hit, looking to get her first one today.
Robinson batting 208 on the season.
Everett with the pitch, and a whiff from Robinson. She swung and got nothing. 1-1 here. That was a great pitch by Everett, just a 2-seam with so much movement. Everett says no to the sign, is ready now, delivers, and that's outside. Kelsey Nader challenging. She looks like she's wanting to steal third. That might be the play. I mean, with 2 outs, obviously you're running no matter what. Potentially hit and run scenario where she could get home if this ball gets out of the infield. Let's see what happens. Everett with the pitch. Strike 2. Good job by Ella Wesolowski to sell that pitch. Although we will get a pitch circle visit here. Wesolowski didn't like, I think it wasn't the pitch she wanted. It ended up working out. But Delaney Everett has to be careful, as if Robinson were to swing there, that would have been easy contact. Unfortunate that she missed that one.
And Kelsey Nader is such a quick player, and she's really demonstrating that. I mean, she didn't get a hit, but she's managed to find a way to get to second base.
Everett, 2-2 with the payoff pitch. Ball 3. Very small margins there that almost looked like it could have been strike 3, but a good eye from Kansas Robinson. Again, Kansas Robinson not hailing from Kansas. Let's see what Everett can do. Another payoff. Strike 3. Swinging for Kansas Robinson. 2 strikeouts for Delaney Everett. Wow, I mean, she just looks dominant there. Besides the Kelsey Nader walk, I mean, and she just did what she wanted with the Cats.
Yeah, Northwestern just simply unable to really do any damage. I mean, Kelsey Nader with a couple of smart plays, but overall Northwestern wasn't really able to offensively produce, well, much of anything. And so that is very concerning. Now Mississippi State, they have the momentum. They've gotten on the board. Now they're going to go back at bat, and this could be a very dangerous inning for the Cats. They can't allow it to get 2 out of hand.
Yeah, 2 runs is manageable, Tomas, but any more than that, and it could get a bit scary for the Cats, potentially even getting to that kind of mercy rule range, which is not where they want to be. Regardless, though, Riley Gruzielanek will stay out there on the pitching circle. Interestingly, though, once again, Emma Blea and Renee Cunningham, 2 pitchers who warmed up last game but did not see the pitching circle, warming up once again. Potentially you might get to see them, especially if this game gets a little bit out of hand, to give some younger players a chance. But for Northwestern, just a little bit disappointing start to this game. Again, there's nothing you can do when you have a 1.13 ERA pitcher on the mound for Mississippi State.
Well, and we were talking earlier about how difficult it is to beat a team twice in a row for Mississippi State, having won yesterday. But now Northwestern having won earlier today, I mean, when teams play double headers, very rarely do you see a team win both games. I mean, especially when you're the underdog, right? Northwestern may be at home, this is true, but the Cats at the end of the day are the underdog against the number 19 ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs, and they already pulled off the upset once today. Pulling it off back-to-back times in the same day
it would be huge.
Incredibly difficult. It would be huge.
It would be huge.
It would be massive, but it is a tall order.
So we're here at Drysdale Field, Tomas. I mean, it is still so chilly. It's probably gotten even colder now at the time of day. The sun going down a little bit. 3:19 here in Evanston. I mean, Tomas, how are you feeling right now?
You know, feeling a bit chilly, but very pumped up about that Wildcat win earlier in the day. You know, it's 40 degrees out here with the wind coming from the lake, but it's still sunny. Great crowd out here, great day. It's opening weekend. We're doing great, Pierson.
That is good to hear. I would say I have to agree. It is a bit chilly, but I'm just so pumped to be here for supporting the Cats and giving you this call. As a little bloop hit once again. Nice diving play in right field by Avery Gardner. She dives in a little bloop hit and gets the catch. What a play for the Wildcats.
And Garden delivers a play that the Wildcats desperately needed. Some kind of momentum, some kind of dynamic movement. This is huge. I mean, Northwestern already has it out this early on in the second inning, and it's a great way to stifle this Michigan State onslaught.
Yeah, huge play by Gardner. And a nice pitch in there for Gruzielanek. Strike one, both pitchers attacking. First pitch strikes. In the box here is Morgan Stiles. Riley Hull was the one who hit that bloop on the first pitch. Hull obviously batting .230. We talked about her being the weakest link in the last one. This time it would be Ella Wesolowski, but still, now 2 batters under 300, which is a good sign to see, I guess, for the Cats.
And Morgan Stiles had a bit of a tough game in the first.
And that's going to be a ball, just a bit high. Good take from Morgan Stiles. Yeah, Gruzielanek, like I talked about before, not too much pick miss, kind of just like a fast and a slow. You can't really tell. But when the movement is there, it is lethal. And so look for her to have that side of Gruzielanek and not the side we saw in the first inning or on Friday. Gruzielanek, strike 2. What a pitch there. Clips the inside corner. That is what you like to see. Yeah, kind of just sending a letter right there to the catcher of the Cats, Emma Ray. I mean, that's just perfect placement. That's exactly where Ray wanted it. Her glove was right there. Gruzielanek gets the bounce back to her. Stiles hits it right back to Gruzielanek, and she makes a nice play, throwing it over to Kansas Robinson. And that's going to be 2 outs for the Cats. Hopefully 1, 2, 3. I mean, this is much better than the first inning. And that's kind of what you wanted to see from the Cats.
It's a very solid start to this second inning for Northwestern. They get a couple of outs. They avoid Michigan State getting, in dangerous positions, getting on base. But now you have Sierra Sacco at bat.
Yeah, Sierra Sacco, her jersey's all dirtied up. I mean, a lot of running in the last game. Only 1 hit today in this one, which is a whole day total. Got her average back up to 500. First pick for Gruzielanek, and it's just a bit low. Gruzielanek kind of walking around here at Drysdale Field. We did move Tomas. We used to be behind home plate. Now we're a little bit to the left in order to charge the Comrex that is giving you this call on the airwaves. As Gruzielanek, she accepts the sign. And a nice pitch right in there, right in the bottom half. A beautiful pitch there. Froze Sierra Sacco up. You could tell that Sacco wanted to swing but couldn't. And hopefully, if Gruzielanek wins this battle, that Sacco's average goes back down below 500, which is a more reasonable thing to expect from a superhuman. Gruzielanek with the pitch. Oh, that one went right back to us. If the net wasn't there, I might not be here, Tomas.
Yeah, that net really protected us there, Pierson. I mean, it might have gone for the equipment, might have gone for us, but thankfully we're protected. And now, I mean, with 2 strikes, Gruzielanek is looking at, a very solid inning here, but she still has to get the job finished.
Yeah, the fans getting into it here. Gruzielanek, 1 and 2 count on Sierra Sacco. Gruzielanek with the payoff pitch. Sacco, and right over the glove of the second baseman, Grace Needle. Honestly, Tomas, that should have been an out.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate play, and that's a mistake you can't afford to make if you're Northwestern. The margin for error really is so thin, especially against a team like Mississippi State, and especially after beating them earlier today. The Bulldogs don't want to drop 2 games in the same day, and they're really demonstrating that right now, and Northwestern can't afford those kinds of errors.
And Sierra Sacco already in 2 innings, 2 hits. A good game so far for her after going 0 for in the first one. And a good first pitch strike, a slow ball there from Gruzielanek. Nadia Barbary doesn't even take the bat off her shoulders, stayed in her stance. Yeah, this is the Sacco we expected, up to a 505 average now on first base, looking to potentially steal. She's 13 for 16 on steal attempts this year. Gruzielanek, and on cue, to right field on the warning track, and she gets there. A nice play there from the right fielder, Avery Garden. 2 nice plays. I mean, plant the flowers in the pot. Avery Garden is there. And good 2 defensive plays to get Gruzielanek out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 hit, and then 4.
Absolutely. Avery Garden with a fantastic start here. And she had a very good game earlier today as well, but especially right now when Northwestern really needs some defensive plays. She's come up big a couple of times for the Cats, and Northwestern manages to get out of the second inning without giving up any runs.
And yeah, Tomas, what I would describe this as is, some fans of the station might be Star Wars fans. Luke Skywalker going to Hoth in episode 4 5? Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, he was going through this icy planet, right, and trying to defeat the people. I mean, that's what Northwestern has to do here, and kind of this Antarctic home field, and for Northwestern, it's clearly affecting them too. They're looking a little more sluggish than they did in the first one.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep up, that energy throughout the whole day, right? It's like when you have morning classes and then you break for lunch and then you come back for an afternoon class and you just feel a little more tired.
Man, that does suck.
A little more sluggish. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you already took a break. You don't want to keep going. But in this case, Northwestern, they have to find a way to get that energy. They have to find a way to keep going and find, that grit, that determination that they really demonstrated in the first game. And, so far, they've managed to limit Mississippi State. They haven't completely contained them, giving up a couple runs, but they've limited them. So now what the Cats have to do is really make their mark on offense. Get on base. Get a couple of big plays. They have yet to get a homer so far today. So, they really need a big play, a dynamic play on offense that really gives them some momentum.
And not just today, Tomas. This entire series, no home runs for the Wildcats. Obviously not known as a power team. The most home runs on the team is the current batter, Bridget Donne, who has 4 on the season. Compare that to Mississippi State with their 2 top home run hitters with 7 apiece.
Yeah,
Granted, 10 more games, but still.
Just such a high-powered offense from the Bulldogs.
And Everett's first pitch is a ball. She's quick pitching the second one. Ball 2. Tomas, that's why you don't do 2 quick pitches. I mean, yes, you have the pitch clock, but when you do that, it can harm you. And, of course, it makes the game faster, but the Cats will take a 2-0 count.
Absolutely.
And Bridget Donahue, obviously, in that last one, had a few really great defensive plays, including a jump catch at third. And she swings and gets contact, but it hits the net. Back foul towards the fans over the Bob Rohrman sign. So now we're at a 1-2 count.
And Bridget Donahue had a fantastic first game of this doubleheader. Looking to replicate that.
Donahue looks for the pitch. That was the pitch she was sitting on, just misses it, hits it back again. You can tell that Delaney Everett is challenging her with these fastballs, and she's making contact. Don't be surprised, Tomas, if we see a slow pitch to switch it up, and hopefully Delaney Everett, or rather, hopefully Bridget Donahue is expecting it. But Delaney Everett, we'll see what she does with the payoff pitch. Looks for the call, no call, 3-2. That's a ball. I don't think that was particularly close to us. The Mississippi State fans are mad. I think that was clearly a ball.
Yeah, it looked like a ball, and, at the end of the day, there's been a couple of missed calls already today.
Everett, 3-2 count. With the pitch, strike 3! And unfortunately, another swing and a miss for the Cats. No strikeouts looking, just swinging. Bridget Donahue a little bit under that one. I mean, she made really good contact on 2 foul balls, and was not able to make contact on what could have been a very momentous swing of the bat.
And Northwestern really struggling to get on base so far in this game. Really only getting on base because of a walk, and there was 1 single earlier.
Everett with the pitch. Izzy Kanea with the ball, swinging down the right field line, and that goes foul. Good attempt there, Izzy Kanea, obviously with the triple, almost a home run in the last one. She laces one there, some really hard contact, almost a hit, but just drops foul. Fortunate that the right fielder, Kiara Sells, wasn't able to get there. With another chance, kind of reborn here, Izzy Kanea. 0-1, Everett with the pitch. Kanea with a little pop fly, and the catcher, Ella Wazlowski, gets it. That's a foul ball, but an out. A pop fly, that's not what you wanted from Izzy Kanea. 2 foul balls and an out already. This game is going really quickly for the Cats, and that is not a good thing.
Yeah, it's going quickly in a way that does not favor Northwestern. They can't seem to find a way to get on base, do any harm to this Mississippi State defense, and if it keeps going the way it does, it's going to be over quickly for Northwestern, and not in a way they want it to.
Everett with the pitch. Ball 1, appeal to first base, and yeah, she did not go. Good check swing there for Emma Ray, the catcher. Batting .242 this season, not necessarily great, but either way, we'll see.
16 hits on the season.
Emma Ray, and she slots it in from the left side, gets between the third baseman and the shortstop, and rolls into the outfield grass. A good hit from Emma Ray, gets the Cats on the board in terms of the hit column. Now we'll see if Lauren Shaborski can't do anything with it. The designated player, number 2 for the Cats.
And Emma Ray with a good ground ball there. Just difficult to catch those. And it's a great way to get on base for Northwestern, which is really what they need to do here.
Lauren Shaborski, this is her 4th at bat of the season. No hits so far. She gets the start here as designated player. She has not gotten much playing time this season, Tomas, so we don't really know much about her in terms of this season. Obviously, as a senior, she's continued to be on the team, maybe like a Gus Hurlbert type. And that's just high. That's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike against Shaborski. Now, Emma Ray is on first, but don't look for her to steal. She's not attempted one. Catchers traditionally are slow with all that gear. They'll see that here. Probably hit and run, though. Shaborski, nice contact, but just too far. And it's going to be foul ball once again. Down the right field line. It looked like that could have been something, but instead it goes into the bullpen for the Cats. So 1-2 here. Everett looks to have the payoff pitch. We'll see what happens.
And Everett has just been so smart in terms of really, detaining and, managing.
Good pitch selection for sure. Everett with the payoff. And it's a ball. It's in the dirt. It looked like Emory was trying to run to second and ended up getting back just in time. Good throw there from Ella Waslowski, but just not there enough. So the Cats stay alive. Emory gets back to first. We'll see what Shaborski can do. Shaborski, a nice stance, looking ready to hit. Everett with the pitch. Strike 3 looking. What a pitch. Just slinged it in there. Wow, Tomas. I mean, what can you say? That was just a beautiful backdoor curve.
Yeah, and Everett was really just able to outlast the Cats in that inning, similar to what Northwestern did with Lauren Boyd earlier today. It's really just about, outlasting these batters and, wearing them down and finding a way to just strike them out. And in this case, Mississippi State is doing a great job of that. And so far, the Cats have been shut out through 2 innings. Still plenty of time to go, and they've only given up 2 runs. But still, I mean, Northwestern was able to get that win in the first game because of those runs that they scored early on, and then they kind of just maintained that lead as the game continued. But today, this game, that just simply has not been the case.
That is true, Tomas. And kind of going back to a storyline we had earlier, we were talking about the new stadium potential for Northwestern softball. Obviously, the 3 other fields, stadiums, arenas in this complex up north past campus. 3 new, really nice stadiums for baseball, basketball. I guess basketball, wrestling, volleyball, all of the above.
The whole arena.
But softball looking for one. Interestingly, though, Tomas, it will not be called Drysdale Field anymore if it were to happen. Instead, it'd be Kip and Sarah Kirkpatrick, who gave the biggest endowment to the field so far, so they would be their namesake. We shall see what happens if that does end up happening. Once again, they're only 1.8 million away from the goal. It's really close, and it's really exciting if you're a Cats fan that potentially get a much nicer facility that they've deserved for being 3-time Big Ten champions.
I absolutely agree. I mean, if you look at the programs Northwestern has, I mean, of course you have lacrosse and field hockey national champions, but after that, there's not a lot of teams that get Big Ten championships, right? And so this softball team, 3-peating in the Big Ten, I think is really a testament to this program, and especially with all the renovations going on. I mean, the obvious one being the reconstruction of Ryan Field, which is happening right behind us. I do believe that the softball program absolutely deserves renovated facilities and, just more resources to help develop the program.
For sure, Tomas. Jesse Blaine coming up. No hits today, but a home run in the last game. And a good pitch there for the Cats. Gruziolanek slots it into the outside corner. And it looks like Jessie Blaine's going to take a timeout for injury potentially. She's walking over to her coach. She's getting checked out. Interesting thing in softball, Tomas, is that when timeouts usually in baseball, you just kind of stay in the box, maybe kick some grass a little bit. In softball, you do have the chance to talk to your team. So there's a lot of strategy that goes along, both defensively when you have pitch circle visits, and then offensively when you call a timeout.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very strategic. It's a chess match, really.
For sure. Will they play checkers or will they play chess? Gruziolanek looking to slot in a second pitch, delivers, and that's just a bit outside and low once again, kind of that right corner of home plate. Good take there for Jessie Blaine. Jessie Blaine, nice stance here. Waiting, I think she's probably sitting slow based on her stance. And that almost hit her. It almost grazed her knee. Not a good pitch from Gruziolanek. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And I think definitely Grudzielanek, is a little wary of Jessie Blaine having hit a home run earlier today, although she's only hit 2 on the year, but still demonstrating that she's definitely a threat.
Grudzielanek with the pitch, strike 2, nice pitch. Having some grit there. Grudzielanek down 2-1, gets one back, 2-2 now. And for the Cats, Tomas, I mean, keeping this 2-run deficit will be big if they want any chance. I feel like if it gets more, it might be too far.
Yeah, they really have to contain the Bulldogs.
Grudzielanek with the payoff pitch, strike 3! A whiff by the Bulldogs, Jessie Blaine, and Grudzielanek gets her first strikeout of the day.
And that's huge for Grudzielanek's confidence in the pitcher circle. That's huge for the team's, just overall morale. I mean, they really have to demonstrate. I mean, they already did earlier today, but now again, they have to demonstrate that not only can they go toe-to-toe with these Bulldogs, but that they can beat them. And getting that strikeout is really big.
Kylie Edwards steps into the box. The shortstop, 67, takes a ball that was really close. Good pitch framing attempt by Emma Ray. Not enough. Grudzielanek kind of turning to her teammates, saying like, yeah, I'm okay. Into the pitching circle. She says yes to the first sign. She's ready to pitch. Grudzielanek. And no swing there. Good check swing for Kylie Edwards. She tried to challenge her with a nice little drop ball. Of course, that is distinct. Only a softball pitch is a drop ball, where it kind of just comes down rather than the curveball, which curves from the side. Grudzielanek has to get back in this bat, though. 2-0 count. Grudzielanek to Edwards. Ball 3. Now it's a hitter's count. 3-0. Edwards definitely has the green light. You can see her looking to her coach. Her coach clapping her up.
And Edwards has 7 home runs on the season. Very dangerous with those power hits.
And she taunted the entire game. So we'll see what happens. Grudzielanek with the pitch. Strike 1. 3-1 count. Good pitch from Grudzielanek. Keep calm. It's not the end of the world. Now Grudzielanek gets back into a groove. She's standing on the pitching circle here at Drysdale Field. The payoff. Grudzielanek, strike 2. Edwards looked to try to walk. She is not taking the bat off her shoulder all at bat besides that check swing. She looked like she wanted to walk. And she is walking. Oh, I think the call is catcher's interference, Tomas.
Oh, I see. I was going to say it's very confusing there because she was walking towards there. It seemed like the call was a strike, and then she walks over there anyway. I thought, it might be some controversy there, but yeah, catcher interference there from Emma Ray. And again, it's just these mistakes that Northwestern can't afford.
And yeah, for our listeners at home, catcher's interference, essentially Emma Ray made contact with the bat on kind of the attempt to swing, and that causes the free base for Edwards. As Kiara Sells comes up to the bat, remember, we've mentioned this time and time again, she went on top of Welsh Ryan. That's so impressive. Power that we didn't necessarily expect from her. I mean, she does have 7 home runs, but she doesn't look the part, does she, Tomas?
No, and I mean, she's batting .326 on the season, which isn't a bad number, but it's not, one of the highest on this Mississippi State Bulldogs team. And
which I think isn't even a testament to Kiara Sells. I mean, 326 is amazing. It's that just this Mississippi State team is just so complete. And the fact that they're the 19th best team in the country just shows how many good softball squads we have this season. And we're lucky to grace our TV screens and our radio waves.
Absolutely. And this team, they're so deep. They have so many options on offense.
Grudzielanek waves off the sign. She wants her own pitch. Pitches in. And that was a good choice for Grudzielanek. She said no to Emma Ray, and she gets a strike there. Kiara Sells wasn't going to take the bat off. I mean, she was just waiting with 1-0. That's probably the way to go.
Smart play there from Grudzielanek.
She doesn't want that again. I think she's going to do her own thing. And Emma Ray didn't want that. Emma Ray said, you got lucky. She calls a timeout as catcher. Grudzielanek probably taking too much time here. Only a 20-second pitch clock, and that 20 seconds does go fast to us.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get that pitch off eventually. You can take your time a bit, but...
Pitch in here, way outside. Good play by Emma Ray to get to that ball. That could have been bad if it got past her. But that's why you have someone like Emma Ray. I mean, this Northwestern team is very good defensively. I mean, their offensive shortcomings may expose them a little bit, but what does make them better is the fact that they have some great defense.
Absolutely.
And a swing and a miss. Kiara Sells 2-2 now. Gruzulanek has gotten herself right back into this at bat. Gruzulanek and Sells. Obviously, in that game on Friday, Sells had her way with Gruzulanek. Gruzulanek maybe getting some payback here. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Sells just looks there. She knew it right away. No arguments with the umpire. And a good play from Gruzulanek. Second strikeout.
Yeah,
of the day.
2 outs here in the top of the third, and really Northwestern's defense, it's keeping them in this game. They have to find a way to get on the board later on, but for now, this defense really standing strong and holding the line.
The Cats point to each other in the infield. They're ready. They know they have 2 outs. Gruzulanek with the pitch. Ball 1. A lot of first pitch strikes. Didn't get the call there. Coming up is Morgan Bernardini. She made a nice play in left field earlier, if you do remember that ball that we thought could have been out. A good play on the warning track for Mississippi State. Now let's see what Bernardini can do in the batter's box. Gruzulanek delivers the pitch. Once again, almost hits her knee. She's had a lot of those where if she misses bad. She's either really good or really bad, kind of highs and lows, and explains kind of her 500 record so far.
Yeah, I mean, these are kind of risky pitches, and, the highs are high, but the lows are low, so it's a bit inconsistent, but she's been great this inning, that being said.
This is true. Gruzulanek with the pitch. Frame attempt by Emma Ray is unsuccessful, 3-0 now. Wouldn't be surprised to see a pitch circle visit. Although it wouldn't be coming from the coach. Just some encouragement from the first baseman, Kansas Robinson, just telling her, you got it, don't worry about it. 3-0 count on Bernardini. The pitch. Strike 1 there. Bernardini knew it. Just couldn't get the bat off the shoulder in time. A good 2-seamer for Gruzulanek.
And yeah, that was a strike that the Cats really needed here. They're only 1 out away from getting done with this top of the third.
Gruzulanek looks to the base runner, and it's a hit and run. Avery Garden is there, and she gets the catch. Didn't have to move much, but still a catch is a catch, and the Cats get out of this inning unscathed. 2-0 Bulldogs at the top of the third. I mean, Tomas, again, just really good defense, solid pitching overall. Of course, we wish that first it didn't happen, but the Cats can erase it right here at the big bottom of the third.
Yeah, and Garden did well to catch that fly ball and end the top of the third. And, Pierson, after that first inning, we were a little concerned because it looked like Mississippi State, they were off to a hot start. They might get things going, and it
looked like a repeat of Friday where Gruzulanek kind of falls apart, but instead she's taken control for sure.
Absolutely, and Northwestern, they've done a great job at, keeping Mississippi State scoreless in the past couple of innings. So really, defensively, they've, managed to put themselves back together, and it's been really solid. So now it's a question of, offense, and you talk about how this team relies on its defense, right? Its defense is its backbone. But at the end of the day, you do have to get on the board if you want to win games. And even if it is a low-scoring one, like earlier today, 4-2. But Northwestern, they have to come up with a couple of big plays, to get to home plate, especially now being down 2-0.
This is true, and Tomas, I think 3 might be the number. I mean, obviously down 2, the Cats would need 3 runs to get ahead. It's 3:43. We're in the bottom of the third. They did like the year thing where they sit, like the fans play a game. Like, what year was it? It was 2023. And so I think this is a good sign for the Cats. We'll see what happens. Obviously, baseball and softball, both games of extreme superstition and tradition and a lot of kind of like wariness. We'll see if it pays off for the Cats. And you know what 3 times 3 is?
What is 3 times 3?
It's 9, and that means we're going to see Avery Gardner here.
Absolutely.
In the bottom third, 3 good defensive plays so far. Man, I keep saying 3. I think it's kind of destined to be.
Could be a big one for Northwestern.
Now Delaney Everett got through 2 innings with pretty much ease. 1 base runner on the walk and the hit by Emma Ray. But besides that, and this one's back over. It's going to hit a car.
Wow, another car. That's 5 cars now.
Yeah, that one was right back. I mean, that's kind of challenging. There's not much room between the batter's box and the nets. So to hit it right behind, over the net, over us, behind home plate, into the car, honestly, a skill from Avery Gardner.
Yeah, and you could hear that collision with the car as well.
And that's a ball. Good take there from Avery Gardner. I mean, it was pretty obvious that Everett was just looking to set something up. If she swang, she'd be okay with it. We'll see what Everett has to offer here. Delaney Everett with the pitch. Garden smokes one to right field, but running and catching the ball is the right fielder, Kiara Sells. Good play, good try by Avery Garden, but just not enough. Kind of just off the tip of the bat. I think if she barreled that could have been gone.
Yeah, Garden tried to put some power on it. It wasn't quite enough, but it wasn't a bad take whatsoever. It'll be Northwestern's first out of the inning, and now it's back over to Grace Nito.
Grace Nito here. Everett with the pitch. Nito slices one. Oh, but it's right to the left fielder, Morgan Bernardini. That was a really good contact by Nito, but just hit it right to her. That's the thing, Tomas. I mean, in a game of numbers like this, in a game like softball, I mean, you have to find those very small gaps because it's not hard to run in this very short outfield.
Yeah, and that's the second straight caught fly ball by the Bulldogs.
Everett to Kelsey Nader. Strike one. Another first pitch strike for Everett. I mean, wow, she's just doing incredible so far. I mean, she has a chance to, if she keeps this pace up, to get her ERA under 1 in this game.
She's undefeated on the season.
Nader tries to bunt unsuccessfully, hits the backstop. So now we're going to have 0-2 for Nader. I mean, Nader's used to that. We've said a lot. The Cats have had 2 strikes in a lot of at-bats today. But we'll see what happens. The last 2 times this has happened, Everett got away with 2 swinging strikeouts.
Kelsey Nader, who's come up big with some defensive plays, now at bat.
Everett with the payoff pitch. Just a bit too high. Good take by Nader. It'll be interesting what the pitch mix will be here, Tomas. Those are 3 fastballs, so once again, wouldn't be surprised to see a slower one to kind of confuse Nader. Everett with the pitch. Outside. Good take from Nader once again. Now she's right back into this. 2-2. And for Nader, I mean, we talked about this last game. Against a really good pitcher, you can't expect to get power, right? I mean, I think the Cats have to be focusing more on contact, kind of stringing some hits together rather than getting one big one.
Just got to get on base.
Everett, Nader, little blooper. And, wow, once again, another fly ball that the outfielder gets to. This time it's Sierra Sacco. All 3 outfielders getting involved for Mississippi State. Right field, left field, and now center. 4-2 of the Cats. It's 1-2-3. A very quick bottom of the third. Tomas, I mean, that is not the way. I mean, we kind of said 3. I didn't expect 3 outs.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, Northwestern, they're getting contact. They're managing to hit these balls, but they're kind of hitting them in the mid-section of the diamond. They're not getting them far away enough with enough power to the point where it's a home run, or even far away enough where you could get maybe a double or a triple. So really, you know, these balls, they're getting contact, but it's not really productive at all.
Yeah, it's bad contact. I mean, you can see that they are making contact, which is a good sign, especially against such a good pitcher. But at the same time, it's like you need to be able to barrel those balls. I mean, contact doesn't matter if it's just a little thing off the bat. Those are 3 relatively easy plays for Mississippi State. I mean, you want to be challenging them where you have to make a play like Avery Garden had to make. I mean, that is the type of thing you want to happen, and the Cats haven't had that there. And I mean, if you're Grudzielanek, you've had 3 relatively good innings for her standards, and the team hasn't really gotten behind her, and so it's really just going to be in her hands to keep the Cats in this one, and then hopefully the Cats batters can respond by helping her out and getting them on the board.
And it does have to be discouraging, right? Like, as a defense, as a pitcher, right? You're doing so well to maintain this high-powered Mississippi State offense, but you're not getting any help from your offense, right? I mean, it's similar to football, right? When, you know, you're doing so well on defense, but your offense can't do anything, and it's like you can only hold out for so long.
Yeah, it's tiring. I mean, when you run around so much, eventually it's like, and if you keep pitching, it does a lot to harm. I mean, Grudzielanek has started 2 of the games this series. And so, I mean, we could have seen maybe Emma Blea start or Cunningham start, but instead, Grudzielanek is the one who took that load. She was also designated player in the last game, so she's started every game in the series, and so it's impressive from her to just continue to have that energy and keep the energy up, but hopefully the batters can match that.
And the way that Northwestern can get back into this one is with kind of, you know, kind of trick plays, stealing bases, getting creative against this Mississippi State team.
That is true. And a nice little blue pit in foul territory. Kansas Robinson is there and retires before I could even say her name. Is Hurston's.
Paige Ernstes.
Oh, Ernstes got into the game. Okay, very interesting. So we had a pinch hitter I believe, for Ella Wesolowski. And so we're probably going to see a new catcher in the game.
Number 4, Riley Hull.
Yeah, they did not announce that, Tomas. That's interesting. I didn't even realize. So yeah, Wesolowski will no longer be in the game. So we'll have a new catcher for Mississippi State in the next one. They do have designated player as Jesse Blaine, which means that their only option was, obviously, Paige Eggers. Grudzielanek, first pitch strike once again. Goes back into her motion. Another good play. A bunt attempt by Riley Hull. Unsuccessful. Hits the backstop. Grudzielanek now in control. 0-2.
And yeah, Northwestern, once again, this defense standing strong. They got, maybe you could say a little lucky, but a good play there to get that first out, on the foul ball, getting the catch with Kansas Robinson. And now 2 strikes here with Riley Hull looking to get that second out.
The payoff, 0-2, Grudzielanek. Oh, and that's just fair. I thought that was going to be fouled for sure, but it just drops. This could be a triple for the Cats, and it is. What a hit for Riley Hull. We talked about her being the weakest link. She was not the weakest link there. A little dribbler down the line. Gets past Kansas Robinson, and that's going to be a triple. I mean, that's kind of just unlucky for the Cats.
Yeah, that's very unlucky. Just over Kansas Robinson. She couldn't get there. And, Riley Hull with batting .230 on the season. She has 17 hits, and she adds to that tally now with 18. And the triple, that's a big play there for Mississippi State.
Northwestern, Grudzielanek with the pitch. Another kind of just Screamer and Avery Garden can't get there. Unfortunate for the Cats. This could be 2 triples in a row, and it will be. Wow. Moran Styles with the triple there, too. I mean, the Cats' positioning is very poor. I mean, obviously, 2 opposite field hits, 2 right-handed batters who hit it to right field, kind of just sliced the ball. 2 lucky placements for Mississippi State.
Yeah, and both times, to that right-hand side of the diamond, and, Morgan Styles just able to get over those Northwestern outfielders, and just unlucky there, unfortunately, for the Wildcats. And now you're in a very precarious situation, down 3-0 with Styles on third, and, they're going to talk it over in the pitcher's circle.
Yeah, I mean, only 1 out for the Cats. 2 triples in a row, albeit 2 kind of weak pieces of contact. Those are the ones that kind of Northwestern have, and Mississippi State had much better positioning. Obviously, it's hard to do when you have 2 traditionally pull hitters who push the ball down that right side, and Northwestern will take the brunt of that, especially Grudzielanek, which just kind of sucks for her after pitching so well for the first 3 innings.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And here we've got Coach Joe McEwen at Drysdale Field. He'll join the fans in the stands.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you love to see kind of a huge member of Northwestern women's sports supporting another huge Northwestern women's sports. I mean, obviously, Tomas, it's International Women's Month, and so it is really cool to see. I mean, Northwestern, a school that traditionally is not a basketball school, is not a football school, but have really strong women's programs. National championship for women's lacrosse this past year, national championships for women's field hockey, women's softball, Big Ten championships. It's really awesome to see.
Absolutely.
It's Grudzielanek way outside, not even close. Emma Ray does not look happy with her. That was definitely not where the pitch was supposed to go. A good take there. I mean, we're back at the top of the order. Sierra Sacco, who calls a timeout. Her elastic band came off of her batting glove. She'll get a new one tossed from the batter's box by Nadia Barbary. Grudzielanek, 1-0 pitch. Ooh, and that ball is off the net. Almost hit us again, Tomas.
Yeah, I mean, it went off the edge, like the upper edge of the net, and kind of bounced back toward the diamond, but that was close. There's been quite a few close calls for us here over in the softball stands.
That is true, Tomas, and I feel like they're targeting us or something for standing up. For listeners, we did stand up. We're once again too cold, so
yes,
we're just kind of moving and grooving just like the softball players. Grudzielanek with the pitch. No call. That looked so good.
It did.
The fans are not happy. Coach McEwen does not look happy. But regardless, it'll be 2-1. Grudzielanek versus Sacco. Sacco with 2 hits already today. She's been the better of that matchup.
Yeah, still batting in unworldly 505.
Sacco kind of bunts it down. That was a swinging bunt, though, so that won't be a third strike. So we still have 2-2. Let's see what Sako can do. And yeah, like you said, Tomas, 505 is just so ridiculous. I mean, to hit, like every 2 at-bats to get a hit is just so crazy. I mean, you just never see that nowadays. Gruzjelanek with the payoff pitch. 3-2. Once again, kind of that same spot as that first pitch. Not close on the outside corner. Hit the dirt. And Moran once again looking despondent towards Gruzjelanek. Can she get out of this one? Runner on third base. Morgan Stiles after her triple. She's standing there waiting for the hit and run, potentially. And a catcher's timeout. Emma Ray saw the pitch clock winding down once again. That's happened a few times for Gruzjelanek. Her timing is a little bit off today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as solid as she's been, she has had a couple of mishaps, and you know, Northwestern, they've really struggled.
Gruzjelanek. Oh, and she hits Sako. Honestly, Tomas, that might have been a good outcome for the Cats, because Sako looked really ready to hit that. And as their best player, I mean, no run scored. Now you have a force out at second, potentially setting up a double play that could end the inning.
Yeah, and that's gotta hurt. Sako now walking around, you know, the diamond a bit, and you know, you gotta imagine that rattles you a little bit, because that softball is not soft.
That softball is not soft indeed. I wonder how they came up with that name. But yeah, I mean, this definitely hurts for Sako. A trainer might come out, maybe not. Definitely just got the wind knocked out of her at least. Hit up towards her collarbone. It looks like she'll be okay. Gruzjelanek in the pitcher circle, meeting with the third baseman, Bridget Donahue, and the catcher, Emma Ray. They're back now. Emma Ray's ready. Nadia Barbary is now in the batter's box. Obviously, she's the one who threw that extra batting glove to Sako that ended up getting hit. But either way, let's see what Barbary can do. First and third, only 1 out. The Mississippi State up 3-0 in the top of the 4th. And that's a first pitch strike once again for Gruzjelanek. Can she get out of this one? I mean, it's such a precarious situation, Tomas. It's going to be really tough. But it's not impossible. I mean, the Cats are definitely set up for where Barbary's cold zones are. Potentially, if a ground ball, they're going to second. And she makes contact on it again. That's strike 2. That might have been a ball. She kept the bat on her shoulder, and it hit the top of her bat. I mean, pretty unlucky for Barbary, but very good for Gruzjelanek.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be a second strike. And at the end of the day, Northwestern
will take what they can get.
Exactly, they'll take what they can get. They're only down by 3 runs. It's not an insurmountable lead.
But a runner in scoring position at third, first and third. Like I said, 3-0. 1 out, 2 strikes. Gruzjelanek with the pitch. Outside to the right-handed batter, Barbary. Barbary standing there, kind of waiting for the pitch she wants. She's seen a fastball, screwball, a drop ball. Didn't like any of them. Let's see what she's waiting on. Gruzjelanek to Barbary. Sends the pitch over. Oh, and just under the glove of Avasado. That almost was the ground ball we were looking for the Cats to get. Instead, Tomas, instead of getting what we wanted, the Cats give up another run. A good hit there from Barbary. Now the Mississippi State is up 4-0.
Yeah, and Morgan Stiles there gets to home, and this is really dangerous for the Cats. They're down by 4 now. There's only a few innings left, and Northwestern's offense hasn't really shown a lot of signs of life.
Gruzjelanek. Now up to bat is Jessie Blaine, the designated player. Gruzjelanek. Ball 1. Very close. Good pitch framing by Emma Ray. Did not work out. Home plate umpire Dick Sorensen didn't see it. Gruzjelanek looking to bounce back. I mean, she had a poor performance in the last 2 games and looked pretty good. And this ball goes over again. Does not hit a car.
Almost did.
It hit the fence right before the car. So we won't get her 6th car hit to match the amount of runs. But what we will get is a mound visit for Northwestern. Gruzjelanek kind of sitting there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jessie Blaine. It looks like they'll keep her in. The manager is not coming out yet. Warming up in the bullpen is Emma Blia. So you could potentially see the first year once again. This is kind of the same combination in that first game where Gruzjelanek came out and Blia came in. Mississippi State is also kind of being there. The outfielders having their own meeting. for the Wildcats. And this is not the start the Cats wanted. I mean, granted, they got the one win they wanted out of the series, kind of like the Duke series. So I think that everyone would go home happy just with that one. But it's still not insurmountable. 4 runs is not nothing, although with only 1 hit, the Cats really have to get the bats going if they get out of this inning.
Well, and that's the thing. Northwestern hasn't really demonstrated that they have, the firepower right now to get those 4 runs, right? And that's the really concerning part of this. And we talk about double headers. It's really an endurance test. In Northwestern, they were able to outlast the Bulldogs in that first game. But now in this second game, they just, haven't really been able to keep up with Mississippi State offensively. Defensively, overall, all things considered, giving up 4 runs to the Bulldogs so far isn't really that bad. But when you...
Compared to 14 now.
Exactly. But when you couple that with the lack of offensive production and some of the errors that the defense has committed, not errors scoring-wise, but just, like mistakes, it does add up, and at the end of the day, it is a very tough situation for Northwestern right now.
Very true. I couldn't have said it better myself, Tomas. Kylie Edwards, little dribbler. Avasado to first. Safe. Oh, she outruns Avasado. That was a good play. And that ball is in the glove of Kansas Robinson. And yet, at third base, it looked like Saka wanted to run. She
did. She was trying to, but it was not advisable. Mississippi State now has the bases loaded, and this could be a nail in the coffin for Northwestern.
The score could open up. They could hit that mercy rule number once again. The umpires getting together. Are they going to review this?
They may.
It was a very close play. Tie does go to the runner, Tomas, traditionally in the Diamond Sports. It was a little dribbler to the shortstop, Avasado, off the bat of Kylie Edwards. Avasado could have thrown it to second, honestly. Chose to throw it to first. And yes, Northwestern will challenge it, so we'll get a Big Ten official review. It'll be close. I mean, you'd have to think whoever's looking at the replays for Northwestern saw something, although it would have been close. Not much time in that challenge window. And you can see, Tomas, the Mississippi State players, they're all just dancing on the bases right now. Like, Northwestern's kind of locked in on the pitching circle in the outfield, planning some strategy. Mississippi State's just having fun. And, I mean, you can never hate on fun, although I would say that I wish that fun was happening for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that right now the vibes for Mississippi State out there, right? They're feeling good. They're having a good time, right? And I think there is something to be said about that, right? Just like, that team camaraderie. And of course, Northwestern also has team camaraderie, but, Mississippi State, you can tell that they've got that momentum. They're feeling good. They're playing well. And it is kind of difficult to see how Northwestern is going to bounce back here. And like you said, Pierson, they already did get a win. They won earlier today. So they got a win from the series against, the number 19 ranked team. So, big picture, right, they'll be happy with that overall. But, again, it is a bit concerning to see how Northwestern does struggle. They struggle greatly when they play against these top-ranked teams, in non-conference play.
Yes, this is very true, Tomas. The construction workers have lost interest too. I mean, of course, they want to root for Northwestern. The stadium construction behind us, Tomas, has been incredible. I mean, we talk about the softball field, but I mean, give credit to the workers for this football field.
Oh, of course.
It went from like a dirt patch to like in 2 months being already the beginnings of a stadium.
No, yeah, I mean, you can already see, right, like the base for all the stands. They've already started constructing kind of, the beginnings of some of the stands and some of the structural beams and pillars. And yeah, I mean, it's looking good for the fall of 2026. There will be a new Ryan Field, and it's supposed to be quite amazing. At least that's what they're saying.
Let's see who at home plate umpire Dixon says. Safe is the call. Mississippi State gets the bases loaded. Kylie Edwards did a little dance after that call. All of them copying her dance. The bench copying her dance. A little bit of like a cha-cha real smooth type thing. But for Northwestern now, I mean, Gruzielanek has to face bases loaded, 1 out.
Yeah, this is not ideal for the Cats.
The hope is a double play. They have a force out at every base, so theoretically this shouldn't be the end-all be-all for the Cats. If they were to get out of this inning just with 2 runs. They might still be in it, but if they score more than 2 more, it might already be over to us.
Yeah, it
Entering
might
the
be
game as
over
a
soon.
runner for the Bulldogs, number 1, Greta Grassel.
And also,
Now batting, number 67, Kylie Edwards.
I also misspoke. It's Jessie Blaine on first base who ran that out. So impressive from her as a catcher. Kylie Edwards is now coming up.
Edwards with 7 homers this season.
Edwards facing Gruzelanek. Gruzelanek with the pitch. Low, ball 1. I mean, this is such a tough situation to be in after already kind of being deflated, losing on Friday, and being the losing pitcher. Then once again for Gruzelanek being in the same situation once again. And it doesn't really look like she's going to get relief from any other Northwestern pitcher, so she's kind of left out there to dry. Gruzelanek delivers the pitch. Edwards with good contact. That's going way foul. Hit some structural beams next to the construction office.
Metal.
No call, just metal.
Yeah.
So 1-1 count. Right field side. I mean, for Mississippi State, a lot of contact to that right side of our right-handed batter. So a lot of oppo tacos almost. Not home runs, but still, that is what has kept this run alive. And this is going to be too high, ball 2 from Gruzilanek's hand. She's walking around the pitcher's circle trying to figure something out. Grab some dirt. Let's see what Gruzelanek wants. She says no to the first pitch option from Ray. Gruzelanek to Edwards. And Edwards swings and misses. Strike 2, that's huge. I mean, Tomas, we talk about getting balls in play and getting out. You could also get an out by striking her out. That is an option. Gruzelanek already had 2 strikeouts today, and very impressive ones.
Yeah, and I mean, the Wildcats have their backs against the walls here, right? I mean, this is really, you know, a do-or-die situation with the bases loaded, so they have to find something.
Gruzelanek, a little dribbler, just goes foul, and Northwestern lucks out. I mean, that was another little sliced ball that dribbled, hit the ground right past the right field foul line. Very lucky. And really nice bounces for Mississippi State. I mean, you'd think that they would just stay in the infield. Instead, it doesn't.
And the Bulldogs still in a fantastic position from their perspective. Bases loaded.
Gruzelanek 2-2 against Kylie Edwards. Gruzelanek with the pitch. Edwards is right there with her. Misses the car. On that right field parking lot once again. Edwards has hit every single foul ball to the right field. A bunch of late contact as that's going opposite field. But Edwards, most of her home runs this year, if you look at the spray chart, have been pull home runs. So she has to get her timing a little bit quicker if that's what she's looking for. Gruzelanek 2-2 once again. The payoff. And again, another foul ball to that right side, this time hitting the right field net. And this is a really good at-bat from Kylie Edwards. We're already at 7 pitches to us.
Yeah, and I mean, got 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gruzelanek has to come up big for the Cats here if they're going to get out of this one, because it is a really tough situation. This is really, I mean, a do-or-die kind of moment for this game.
Gruzelanek payoff once again. Just outside 3-2. So Gruzelanek now has to make sure that she is of the utmost focus. A ball here, and it's a run for Mississippi State. But she has a chance to strike her out. Edwards has been on her all at bat. Who will win the battle? Gruzelanek says yes to the sign with the pitch. Ball 4. Just a little bit low, looking for that corner, and Mississippi State will trot in. Sierra Sacco gets to home base from third base, home plate rather. And unfortunately for the Cats, they're now down 5-0, and it's starting to look like despair, just like on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, this is starting to possibly get out of hand. And now you have Sells.
Also home run threat, as we saw again.
At bat, bases loaded. This is dangerous.
Gruzelanek sells, hammers one to the edge of the lid, and it's gone! A grand slam for Kiara Sells. Wow, Tomas, another home run for Sells, and the Cats go down 9-0. This is not good.
That's exactly what you were fearing if you were the Northwestern Wildcats. You did not want to let this game get out of hand. You could not let Mississippi State start running and gunning and just get run after run after run. And now they have 7 runs in this 4th inning. It's 9-0,
And they're 1 away from that mercy rule.
you have to imagine this one's close to over.
Yes, and for Northwestern, I mean, they looked good, and then they did it. I mean, it's really interesting. This team has been so up and down this season in non-con play. Granted, part of it could be the weather, part of it could be just like not being home. There's a lot of excuses you can
Strength of
make,
schedule.
but eventually the excuses have to stop, and they have to start winning some games and proving that they're worthy of a bid in the World Series if they want to do that. 3 regular season championships, did not win the tournament last year in terms of the Big Ten tournament. We'll see. Gruzielanek still in the game. It looks like they're not going to make any more victims out of other pitchers for Northwestern.
I mean, yeah, at this point, you might as well just finish the game out. But yeah, I mean, Northwestern, this is a program, right, that aspires to be an elite team within the world of college softball, right?
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you need to be able to compete with and defeat these kinds of programs.
Gruzielanek, 1 strike on Bernardini. Just down the line. Foul ball. Smart play there from Bridget Dame. She waited for that ball to go foul, and it did. Tomas, what's crazy about that is that's the first ball that was like pulled by the end hitter. I mean, it's the first ball down the left field side. For as far as I can remember, I mean, this Mississippi State team has put up a 7 spot here in the top of the 4th, and every single one has been opposite field hit, including that home run by Sells. And right there, another one, and it drops to right field once again. I mean, I can't keep saying it enough. Just another opposite field hit. It's Morgan Bernardini. Gets a single there over the head of the second baseman of Northwestern, Grace Nito. I mean, Tomas, this is not looking good for the Cats. I mean, you keep saying it's not looking good, but it's really not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, Pierson, like I said, you hate to say it, but you have to imagine this game is all but over. There's nothing that the Northwestern offense has done so far this game to demonstrate that they could, make up a 9-run deficit, not to mention the fact that there's 3 innings left, not to mention the fact that Mississippi State is, as you mentioned, 1 run away from that mercy rule. Northwestern managed to pull out the win in that first game today, and I think there is something to be said for that. They can be proud of themselves for that. It's an important win against ranked opposition, but at the same time, to truly, compete with and be an elite program, right? In softball or any sport, you have to be able to consistently demonstrate those results and consistently put on those kinds of performances. And in that first game, Northwestern lost 14-0. Then they came out with a win, 4-2, a close, low-scoring win. And now they're getting blown out once again, 9-0, and it's like, well, you won that one game closely, but then in the other 2 games, it wasn't even competitive, and that's the concerning part.
It's really disappointing, Tomas. It's unfortunate, but we will see a new face here pitching. Renee Cunningham, one of the players who had been warming up in the bullpen for a while in the past 2 games, finally gets in. We'll see what Cunningham can do. I mean, this season for Cunningham has been interesting. I mean, as a sophomore, you'd expect her to get a little more playing time than last year, but it's kind of matched what she's had in her freshman season, or first year season rather, as Northwestern likes to call it.
Yeah, and Cunningham, really gonna get some reps here, but she's entering a losing battle. It's gonna be really tough for Cunningham entering here, but she will get some in-game experience against a very, very good team in the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and we'll see what she can pull out. I mean, I guess the question is how much longer this game will go.
And Tomas, interestingly, we talked about Jasper, Texas.
Yes.
Pinch running is Kaylani Sells, so the sister of
Number 12.
Kiara Sells, the junior who just hit that grand slam, is now in on the base pass as a pinch runner. We'll see if she gets in that bat. It really depends on if Cunningham can limit a run. As Riley Hull, it's going to be Paige Ernstes. Remember that pinch hitter who started this inning. That means that Mississippi State has batted around, Tomas. 9 batters in this inning, 7 runs. Northwestern down 9-0 in the top of the 4th. Second pitch from Cunningham. It's going foul. Can the Cats get there? No.
And it hit the top of the the dugout.
Yeah, Kansas Robinson was right there, ready to catch it, but just couldn't reach over. I mean, as much as you wish longs were longer, it can't be. We're not like long legs or something. Not Nicolas Cage, but regardless, Cunningham, 0-2 count against Paige Ernstis, the freshman versus the sophomore. Cunningham looking for the call, does not get it. And Cunningham, interestingly, Tomas, pitches significantly slower than Gruzulanek, which is interesting. It's a change of pace. And I guess for Cunningham, the goal here is to limit. Obviously for the Cats, maybe with the cold, they want to give up, but you should never give up, even in this type of game.
Not.
And so Cunningham will look to limit the runs and just show and ball out and show that why she deserves more playing time.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity for her, like you mentioned, Pierson, to get more playing time. And also, you're playing a game against a ranked opponent at home. You can't ever give up. No matter what the score is, you got to keep going.
Cunningham with the pitch. This ball is hooking. On the warning track is the left fielder, and she makes the catch to just get a second out. I thought it was the end of the inning. That's how long this inning's been going. That's only the second out. Paige Ernstis almost gets one out of here, but the Cats' left fielder, Izzy Kanea, for the triple in the first game. Makes a good catch there.
Riley Hull.
And now we're back to Riley Hull, who got that triple that started it all. Hull obviously kind of like that little dribbler past Kansas Robinson that ended up being a triple. That just started everything as she hits another hard one to left fielder once again, and Kanea gets it. Nice running catch from Kanea to end the inning. 2 balls right to her. Cunningham gets the Cats out of a 7 spot in the top of the 4th. The Cats are down 9-0 to the Mississippi State Bulldogs. But good for Cunningham for getting out of that.
Yeah, the inning's done now. Well, top of the 4th is done now to the bottom of the 4th. And, for this Northwestern team, right, it's all about just continuing to fight, try to get on the board here. And, it's tough, of course, but honestly, not just for this game, but for the rest of the season, you have to show that you have that grit, that fight, not necessarily just for the result of this game, but, to keep up that motivation and that mentality, and the message that you're trying to send going into the rest of the season and Big Ten play. Yeah,
Big Ten play is important, and momentum's important in any sport. And so Northwestern will look to get a little bit of something here. Delaney Everett for Mississippi State has essentially just dominated them through the first 3 innings. And we were saying that Gruzulanek too, and then she gave up 7. So, never say never. The Cats fans are still here supporting, which is really respectable. If you're talking about giving up, the one person who did give up was Coach Joe McEwen. He's no longer in the stands. Understandably, he's put a lot of time here for Northwestern, and so standing out in the cold is probably not his ideal activity on a Saturday afternoon. But regardless, for the Cats, Tomas, it's already been an hour 30 almost, and we're only in the 4th just because of all those runs.
Yeah, that 4th inning, that top of the 4th took a long, long time, and, hopefully you got to hope for warmer weather coming soon. It's already spring, but as you and I both know, being Illinois natives, spring doesn't really arrive for a while, and March is, you're not surprised to see snow on the ground in March.
To us, we could see spring tomorrow, and then on Monday it could be, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, be right back to winds.
Everett with the pitch. Strike 1, another first pitch strike, very, very impressive.
Number 8, Kaylee Avasado.
Kaylee Avasado up to bat. Again, a double in the last game, some good defensive plays. She could have stopped that run at 2 if she would have gotten that double play just under her glove. Avasado looks to redeem herself once again, takes a ball, 1-1 and counts. Avasado, a relatively good year.
31 hits.
She's leading the team with a 387 average. That's awesome for her. But at this point, it's more so just about pride than anything else for the Cats. Avasado, nice hit. That's fair. Down the left field line. Slams it. Avasado going to second base. Can she get there? She does. A stand-up double for Avasado. A really nice piece of hitting from Kaylee. Down the left field line, that third base line, right over the base. The diving third baseman, Nadia Barbary, just could not get there. And so the Cats, no else, and they got a runner in scoring position. I'm not going to say that they're going to come back, but I will say that this is the best they've looked this entire game.
Well, and, you talk about pride, right? You talk about, just playing for the love of the game and just defending your own home diamond. Northwestern has to do that.
Robinson with a pop fly to right field, and Sells gets there. Oh, she trips a little bit. Is she okay? She is. She was trying to be all nonchalant. I mean, we saw that last game with Lexi Sosa, the pitcher, former UCLA, and then the pitcher for Mississippi State. She was very nonchalant, and so was Northwestern. But in that one, Sells tried to play it off very unsuccessfully.
And now Donahue, she's had overall a solid day today.
Donahue takes the first pitch. It's a ball. Good take there. And now the Sells sisters in right and left field, the junior and the first rare, Kiara and Kaylani. Pitch. This ball's hit hard to the right field side, but it's going to be an out for Donahue. Good catch there by Sells. Didn't get to the warning track. I mean, again, the Cats had good contact against Everett, but nothing productive besides that double from Almasado. I mean, it's going to be a grind for the Cats no matter what, especially if Cunningham continues to pitch well. They're going to have to play the full game.
And Kania, who had that big triple earlier today in the first
and two
game.
nice catches last inning for Izzy Kanea. Kanea, little dribbler to the shortstop. Can she get there? She's out. Nice
Close.
play. A close play, but a nice play by the shortstop, Kylie Edwards. And the Cats, despite starting off strong with that double from Alvasado, go down with no runs. Still getting shut out 9-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. And Tomas, I mean, in terms of setting the scene, even though the fans are here, there's a distinct difference in energy compared to last game.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta imagine that now entering the fifth inning, unfortunately, this game will be over soon.
Yes.
It will be over soon because Northwestern has shown really very little signs of life on offense. Only a couple of hits that got on base, and defensively, Northwestern held out. Those first 3 innings, only giving up two runs, just really trying to hold on and hang in there. But that grand slam really just opened the floodgates, and Mississippi State has really just seemed unstoppable since then.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, Tomas. I mean, I was looking forward to doing play-by-play for this game. It's looking like he might get caught short, but that's okay. But either way, I've had a fun time with you. It's been nice to be in the cold, but still like surviving, But yeah, for Northwestern, it could have been better for sure. I mean, will Cunningham stop the bleeding potentially? But then really, what does that get them? Just a 9-0 loss after 7. So we'll see what happens here in this inning. But the Cats will really have to do a lot if they want to make this interesting at all.
But yeah, no, I mean, Pierson, as you said, I've also had a lot of fun calling these games with you, and just overall, we're here, we're braving the cold, braving the elements, but we're still going at it, and if there's one thing you can't do, it's you can't give up. So the Cats got to keep going, we got to keep broadcasting, just got to keep going. It's very important. And yes, it's cold, it's windy, but at the end of the day, the Northwestern Wildcats, they may not find a way in this one, but they have to say that they tried.
And coming into the game, pinch hitting is Abby Grace Richardson for Mississippi State. Takes a strike down the middle for Cunningham. A good pitch there. Cunningham looking, delivers the pitch way outside. Bad pitch there from Cunningham, 1-1. Richardson batting .333 this season, albeit with very little at bats. But she has 1,000 slugging, which is pretty impressive. 2 walks, no home runs, no RBIs, but has gotten on base a ton when she's gotten a chance. As she takes another ball there. Cunningham utilizing her slower approach. It definitely changes the timing when you have such a fast pitcher than such a slow pitcher with Gruzielanek and Cunningham.
Absolutely.
And that ball is going out of the park, but not in the home run way. Over the net, behind the plate. Abby Grace Richardson makes good contact, but bad result. Let's see what Richardson can do. Cunningham, 2-2 now. With the pitch. Looking for the call, does not get it. The Cats fans really wanted it. They're mad at the umpire. And I'm surprised they didn't get that call, because if I was the umpire in this one, you'd be wanting it to be over as soon as possible, just considering this cold.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he went for the ball there.
Especially considering some other calls. Either way, that ball's hit down the left field line, and it's going to be safe for Abby Grace Richardson. It looked like it was going to be a good play for Bridget Donahue, rushing down the line off her off foot. Makes a nice throw, but it's going to be an error for the Cats.
Yeah, Candace Robinson was just unable to secure that ball there.
Number 29.
And yeah, I mean, that's just adding insult to injury. An error there for Candace Robinson. Could not make the catch. That should have been an out. Regardless, Abby Grace Richardson gets on base. And it's actually looking like, as of now, that's going to be scored as a single. So neither player gets an error, but she gets on base. Can they get there? No. Another bloop single for Mississippi State. I mean, we're getting to that zone where it could very well be the mercy rule. Sierra Sacco with the at-bat. And the first pitch she was swinging hits a little bloop single. The difference is Sacco's a left-handed batter, and yet she does opposite field. Everyone's hitting it opposite field today, Tomas. I don't know what's happening in this game, but Mississippi State loves the opposite field, and it's working.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way they seem to be hitting it.
Yeah, and Kanea just couldn't get there in that case. Cunningham with the pitch. Ball one on that first pitch. Nadia Barbary looking to close things out for Mississippi State. Cunningham staring down her catcher, Emma Ray. Cunningham delivers the pitch. And a nice barrel of the ball. That's going to go down to the warning track. This will be runs for Mississippi State as Sacco is held at third. It's going to be a double for Nadia Barbary. We are at that 10-run mark. So unless the Cats score on the bottom of this inning, this game will be over. Cunningham and the rest of the team meeting at the mound. You can tell Northwestern just kind of doesn't care at this point. It's a little disappointing after getting that win for them to come out so poorly in this one.
Yeah.
But what can you expect?
I mean, it's just, you demonstrate that you can beat this team, right? And the way to beat them is to kind of, make it a low-scoring kind of, you don't want to say ugly, but bogged down kind of game, right? Where it's really difficult to get on base, really difficult to get to home plate. You get a couple of, stolen bases, a couple of unexpected plays. You get a big triple, and you find a way, right? You give up a couple of homers, but you find a way. And this game, really they just allowed Mississippi State to just run all over them, especially in that fourth inning, and just this Mississippi State has such an explosive offense that if you give them any space, they will absolutely open the floodgates, and they can score so many runs so quickly, and that's just what happened in this game.
Lauren Boyd just shows how good she pitched last game. I mean, this Mississippi State team is no joke, and they're clearly better than the Wildcats by a large margin. So I think it's more so credit to Boyd just pitching so well in that last one, keeping it low scoring, doing what you're saying. And so really good for her and a really important win for the Cats. Cunningham with the pitch now. Another bloop hit. This is going to drop once again. A ton of bloop contact for Mississippi State, but it does work out. Jessie Blaine with a bloop single scoring another run. It's going to be 11-0 Mississippi State. I mean, I think at this point Mississippi State's trying to get to that 14 again. I mean, you can kind of tell that's kind of what's happening. It looks like Cunningham might be taken out as the manager for the Cats is coming in. I don't know who will be coming in. I would assume it's Emma Blea, unless Cunningham can convince her manager to not take her out.
And Sierra Sacco got to home once again for the Bulldogs.
And yeah, for the Cats, it's just really unfortunate. First and second for Mississippi State with no outs. I mean, to us, it's almost like they're just prolonging the inevitable. Mississippi State is. But I guess, it's almost like they're taking batting practice in this game. It's pretty disappointing.
Yeah. It is disappointing, but, Northwestern can regroup from this, learn, and at the end of the day, in this series, the Cats did take a game. And there's something to be said for that. Of course, I think it's not just losing the games, but I think it's losing the games in this fashion, right? Like in any game where you get mercy ruled, right? I mean, obviously there's going to be a sense of disappointment there.
Indeed, as Kylie Edwards comes up. We talked about number 67, first and second. No outs, a strike from Cunningham. Good play. Manager did come to the pitching circle, but did not take her out. Cunningham with the pitch. A bunt attempt from Edwards. And that's not going to work out for Cunningham. Almost looked like she went through. She did not. Good pulling of the bat back by Edwards. Cunningham now 1-1 against Edwards in the at-bat. Cunningham thinking about what she wants to do. Looks back up. She's ready. Pitches. And this is going to be to the second baseman. Steps on first. Throws and it's going to be another throwing error for the Cats. And Run's going to score here. A good play originally for Grace Nito, but then she just throws it down to the ground towards Kansas Robinson. I mean, the Cats could have gotten 2 outs right there, so they only get 1 and another run for Mississippi State.
And Nadia Barbary got home there. And
Kiara Sells.
this, I mean,
Kiara Sells hit her second homer in that last inning, a grand slam, looking to hit another one here. Cunningham with the pitch. Sells takes ball 1. And yeah, I mean, the Cats, a lot of, maybe this game, some unluckiness, but at the end of the day, I mean, they're just getting pummeled by Mississippi State. I mean, whether it's because of errors or other things, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just unfortunate. Cunningham, Sells, swinging for the fences.
almost hit her teammate there.
Yeah, Mississippi State's something like that. We were talking about this last game, how Mississippi State just kept pulling it towards their dugout. And this one, I guess maybe that's why they're hitting it opposite field to that right field side, so they don't hit it towards their dugout.
In fact, Kiara Sells almost just hit Kaylani Sells, who's on deck right now for the Bulldogs. The Sells from Jasper, Texas.
Kiara Sells swings and misses. Good pitch from Cunningham. That's a beautiful curveball into the dirt. Fooled Sells. Cunningham decided, yeah, you may get Gergiolonic, but you're not going to get me, at least for the moment. It's 1-2 count. Cunningham engages with Emery. Pitches to Kiara Sells. Sells makes contact. It's going to fall again. Good effort from Avasado. But it's going to be first and second. Another bloop single for Mississippi State. I mean, they're doing what Northwestern should have done. They're putting together, stringing together a bunch of hits.
Well, and yeah, whenever Northwestern was able to get, some contact and get hits, like you mentioned earlier, Pierson, it wasn't good contact, and it was really just going directly to Mississippi State's outfielders, and it wasn't really productive. It was just a lot of, easy fly balls to catch, and Mississippi State, they're finding those open space. I mean, if they're not hitting homers, they're finding those open spaces to get on base.
And Kaylani Sells is in the game. She did a pinch runner. She was a pinch runner, and they batted around to her. She has yet to have a hit in her college career. Her sister hit a grand slam and then a single above her. Let's see what Kaylani can do. Cunningham. Ball 2.
The batter is number 42, Kaylani Sells.
Kaylani Sells already has a walk, though, so she has gotten on base. An on-base percentage of 200. That's the only real stat she has besides that pinch run. Sells takes ball 2. Cunningham does not look very good. Looks a little bit frazzled. For a moment there, Tomas, the screen said 21-0. It's not that bad. It's 12-0 here in the top of the 5th. Mississippi State put up a 3 spot. The Cats are down by a ton. Strike 1. Kaylani Sells takes a strike. Honestly, could have been a bit too high. Could have been a ball. Whatever, they don't get the call. Either way, they're Northwestern with the payoff. Strike 2, 3-2 count. Kaylani Sells has not swung the bat once. Cunningham clawing her way back in Wildcat fashion. First and second, 1 out. Let's see what she can do. To Sells. Gets contact, foul ball, stays alive. Kaylani Sells does. Cunningham still looking to strike her out. Top of the 5th, 3-2 count, 12-0. Mississippi State leads Northwestern. Northwestern probably going to lose this one again, barring some miracle comeback. Let's see what happens. And the pitch. Sells takes strike 3 right down the middle. You could tell that she doesn't get much playing time there. I mean, she probably should have swung the bat once. Those are some good offerings. Either way, though, batting is number 12, Paige Ernstes, who in the last game had a really good game with 3 hits, upped her average now to 400. She's the second best hitter on this team right now. albeit with a smaller sample size, getting less playing time, but it looks like she's starting every game from now on, considering how well she's played as a first year.
Yeah, and I mean, she's batting 400, right? Like, overall, it's been a very impressive year here for Ernstes, and she's had a good day today overall as well.
Ernstes, little blue pit. This should be an out for the Cats, and it will be caught by Bridget Dane. And the Cats get out of this inning. They don't lose 14-0 yet. The Cats will get one more chance to bat before this game is assumedly over. I mean, I'd be shocked if the Cats can score 3 runs and prevent this mercy rule. I mean, if they do, I wouldn't be mad, of course. But, I mean, Tomas, how are we feeling here kind of nearing the end of this game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling cold, but still very much pumped up to be on the call, to be on the broadcast here at Drysdale Field. Pierson, how are you feeling?
I am doing good. I think all things considered, we got to call a win.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Absolutely. Over Mississippi State.
And we saw some really cool things that happened. I mean, obviously a really, really impressive day of hitting for Kiara Sells and honestly the entire team for Mississippi State. Up and down the lineup has looked so impressive. As their bus is pulling up, it seems like they are ready to go as well. They're assuming nothing's going to happen. Delaney Everett looking to pitch a complete game.
Well,
for Northwestern, it will be up to number 17, Emma Ray, the catcher, who will be leading off to see if they can prevent the mercy rule. Regardless, though, more likely than not, this game will be ending in the sitting.
Well, and the Sells home run onto the roof of the Welsh was insane. I mean, that was just really impressive to see. And
yeah, Tomas, you were so shocked that you couldn't even get the words out.
Yeah, I mean, it was indeed shocking. I mean, because you'll see a homer, right? It'll go over, but to make it all the way, because it didn't just barely make the roof of the Welsh, it went deep. I mean, that was just an insane hit there from Sells. And I mean, yeah, overall, you can tell why this Mississippi State team is
for sure
ranked number 19, and they have such a high-powered offense. You can see it for sure. But I think this Northwestern team, they demonstrated such a high ceiling, but a bit of a low floor too, right? Like, they demonstrated that at their best, they can compete with and defeat a Mississippi State team.
Yeah, they can go with any team in the country, or they can get destroyed by any team in the country.
Exactly, or they can, I mean, they lost 14-0 yesterday.
That's also demonstrated by a loss to a team like USC, not a traditionally good program, but they got destroyed in that one too.
Up and down for this Northwestern team.
Indeed, Emma Ray, the catcher, good defensively, has not done much in the hitting front today besides a good single, batting .242 on the season. Ray holds off on the swing, 2 balls, no strikes. Delaney Everett has done this before. I mean, she's gone down in college, she gets right in them, forces weak contact. I mean, they're getting in the bat on the ball a ton, Northwestern is. They're just not getting it to the right spots on the field. Everett with the pitch. Good contact there. That's off the glove of the third baseman into the outfield. Somehow, a really interesting play there. And it's going to be most likely an error, if I would be guessing, Tomas, on number 10, Nadia Barbary.
And that would be Mississippi State's first error of the game. Northwestern only with 2 errors on this game. Not that that's good, but considering the score.
Considering the score, it is good. But either way, you got to get on base somehow. As of right now, the scorers table has awarded a single to Emma Ray, so good for her. I mean, it was a really good piece of contact. It was a tough play from Nadia Barbary. Almost a double error there where Barbary hit her glove and then hit the glove of the shortstop, Kylie Edwards. We'll see what the Cats can do. A base runner here. Good contact. That girl is going to roll all the way to the wall. Can the Cats score a run? They're sending her a double here, and the Cats get a run here today. At least the Cats get something. Yana Lindsay was the pinch runner there. She scores. I mean, at least they got something, Tomas.
Yeah,
they got something.
At least the Cats got on the board, which they could not say yesterday. So something is something. A run is a run. Northwestern will take it, and hey, who knows? Maybe they'll be able to avoid that mercy rule.
And what a great piece of hitting from Lauren Szkiborski. That was her first hit of the season for the senior. A nice double. Another pinch runner coming in here for Northwestern. It's going to be Zayan Romero.
Entering the game as a runner for Wildcats, number 82.
So it's 12-1 here. Bottom of the 5th. Northwestern needs 2 more runs.
Correction, it is not number 83, it's number 82, Grace Minerovich. One number off there, my eyes deceived me. Either way, Everett here with the pitch. That's going to be a wild pitch, too high, or pass ball, depending on what the score is. But Minerovich gets to third base. The Cats put together a good streak of hitting. They could avoid this mercy rule here, Tomas.
Yeah, and I think this Mississippi State team has kind of let their guard down. And they've kind of allowed Northwestern to, claw their way back in a little bit.
Everett with the pitch, sends it over. That ball's going right over our heads, and it's going to be out. Does not hit a car. Instead, it hits a light pole. I mean, we got a lot of balls hit our direction, Tomas, as we've talked about.
Balls.
But either way, every guard in here, 1-1. Delaney Everett fooled her, struck her out before. Will she do it again? Everett with the pitch. That's outside. Good eye from Garden. Northwestern down 12-1 in the bottom of this 5th inning.
No outs.
No outs. Indeed. Avery Garden has looked good in this game defensively, batting .220 on the year. Garden, that's popped up. Will it get foul enough? It will not. And that is caught easily by Riley Hull, the first baseman for Mississippi State. That was not the piece of contact you want with a runner on third from Avery Garden. Either way, though, a really fast player in Grace Nito coming up. Would not be surprised to see her try to bunt like she's done many times before today.
Well,
although she has not been successful once.
With a runner at third, you got to imagine, you're trying to get that runner, home, right? So.
And Mississippi State's predicting her to bunt too. They're playing really, really in on the infield. Strike one. I don't know what she was doing. She didn't even take the bat off her shoulder. She ran as if she hit it. Very interesting strategy from Grace Nito. The senior.
Nito with 27 hits on the season.
Yeah, batting .375.
Very good campaign.
Yes, very good campaign indeed. The pitch. Ball one. I don't know what Nito's doing. She's really just running towards the pitcher almost. It's hard to describe. It's not something you usually see. I think she's maybe
she's like advancing toward the pitcher with the motion as if she's going to go hit it, but then she doesn't, follow through.
I don't know. Grace Nito, that one almost hit us again. Thank God for the neck. Nito finally gets the bat off her shoulder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Delaney Everett hoping to strike her out once again like she's done. These are the 2 batters she struck out before in the Garden at Nito. Everett. Payoff pitch, strikeout there for Everett. Really nice. And Grace Nito gets out once again.
And now we're hearing the Imperial March once again, perhaps for the last time today.
It perhaps might mean the Death March for the Cats instead. Maybe it would have been more appropriate. Although, they're playing the song for Kelsey Nader, but now they have to play a different walk-up song because they decide to pinch hit. And so it's going to be Lauren Curry coming into the game, the senior. It's actually a senior pitcher. So Lauren Curry, I think, she does not usually hit at all. And I actually think that she's never had an at-bat. So Lauren Curry, I think, is just coming in here as a pitching veteran, wanted to get an at-bat in. It doesn't really matter here. So we'll see what she can do. Yeah. What do you think, Tomas?
We shall see. I mean, you look at the stats, right?
Nothing.
0 hits, 0 at-bats, right?
In her career.
So, I mean, we'll see. This could be really cool. This could be really cool.
We could see something huge.
Yeah.
Or we could just see the end of the game. We'll see. For those listening, as we're entering this final at bat, station identification, you're listening to WNUR 89.3, or if you're on YouTube, you're listening there. We appreciate your support. Pierson Strandquist here, Tomas Moran, obviously Colin Kaplan's our engineer, sitting there in our OACR building on Northwestern's Evanston campus, as Everett delivers a ball outside to Curry. Curry looking like a poised and professional batter, as if she does this all the time. Everett here, she's shaking a little bit, trying to figure something out. Everett with the pitch. Curry makes contact down the line, but a foul. I will have to say, I mean, when Grudzielanek was designated player and she was batting, she did not look very Good. Curry looks at least a little bit more like the part in terms of how she is swinging. Everett looking to get out of this game with a complete game. Not shut out, though, which is good for the Cats. Off of the hit of Shaborski, her first hit of the season. But either way, Lauren Curry here gets another piece of contact. 1 and 2. This could be it, Tomas. Here's the pitch.
It could be it. The last pitch, perhaps.
And it's high. Good take for Lauren Curry. And the fans, for the first time in this game, are getting into it. They are pretty happy for Curry. I mean, obviously, everyone's hoping for the same thing. Maybe a little bloop. I don't know. You know, if you swing the bat, magical things can happen.
Absolutely.
Everett with the pitch. Curry gets hit.
Wow.
Wow. That was definitely not on purpose, of course. I really highly doubt it.
That was around the face. I mean, you know, she has the helmet on, of course, but that was in the face area.
And Northwestern's coaching staff is talking to the umpires. Potentially, I mean, that is really tough to get hit in that head neck area. That's always really dangerous. And as a matter of fact, because of that, she will be taken out. Unfortunate for her. She probably wanted some more flowers.
Yeah. Got on base?
She did get on base, so good for her in her first at-bat, and it won't count because she got hit by a pitch, so she'll still have no at-bats in college.
During the game, and now it's first base for the Wildcats, Kelsey Nader.
Kelsey Nader comes back into the game to pinch run. The only reason why they're able to do it is because they can say it's an injury. So Kelsey Nader's back in the spot that she would have been before. And I think that's the only specific situation where you can pinch run the same player you just took out.
Yeah, that is an interesting loophole.
That's not something you see very often at all. Kaylee Avosado here already with a double, the best hit for the Cats today besides Shaborski's double. Avosado takes ball 1 from Everett. Everett looking a little shaken up. Obviously she gave up a run, really inconsequential though. But Avosado could change things here with one swing of the bat. Everett with the pitch to Avosado. Avosado smashes one down the left field side, gets past Barbary, and the Cats are on the board once again. It's 12-2, Tomas. The Cats are looking alive. I mean, it probably won't mean much, but the Cats did not get shut out here. 2 runs here to the point where it looks like Mississippi State might even be forced to take out their pitcher.
Yeah, and Grace Minarovich making it 2 home. So that's a run there for Northwestern. And all of a sudden, the Cats, it looks like they could extend this game. They're down by 10. I mean, only 2, or I should say only 1 out left, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. So they would have to, you know, avoid getting another out. But it does look like Delaney Everett will be leaving this game.
And yeah, she's getting hugs from everyone. We'll see who's entering the game. Imagine, you know, getting almost that complete game, getting 2 outs and just not getting it. To the point where they might not even get out of this game. They might have to play 2 more innings.
Yeah, and I mean...
And the Cats are yelling, go UNU. I mean, the fans are still here, even though Coach McEwen left.
Yeah, absolutely. They're still here, and I mean, this is it for the Cats. They either have to get a run, or, you know, if they get an out, then that's the end of the game, so
yeah, the Cats purple here. I mean, the Mississippi State's taking a while. They have a much faster pitcher in right now. It's going to be number 25, Raylan Chafin, coming back. Obviously, she's the one who gave up a lot of runs in that last game,
that's
so potentially
true.
Maybe she does it again, but obviously still a prolific pitcher,
yes.
A sub-2 ERA. All the infielders clapping for her. I think they're just making sure that she's okay to still pitch, considering how tired she must be. A lot of wind here if you can't hear over the airwaves. We're here at Drysdale Field. The Northwestern is trailing Mississippi State 2-12. There's a giant shadow over the entire outfield, center field, and left field, but right field is nice and sunshiny. The clouds have kind of gone away. The sun is kind of there. It's really just the shadow of Welsh Ryan Arena preventing the rest of the field from being in the sunshine. We are not in the sunshine either, as we're kind of being stopped by the press box that we are shunned from.
Yep.
But either way, we'll see what happens here, as it looks like it's going to be
Entering game 2 and now
we're going to have a no pinch hitter. No pinch hitter. They were considering it. They were talking to each other, but instead it's going to be Kansas Robinson looking for her first hit today still.
Now batting, number 10.
Made some good plays, also made some bad plays at first, but she can redeem herself here. Obviously, it's going to be tough facing a pitcher of this caliber coming in fresh.
Yeah.
Kansas Robinson waiting for the pitch. It's sent. Robinson holds off on the swing. Third base umpire says no to the appeal. 1 ball. Chafin looking to get out of this inning and out of this game for Mississippi State. A really impressive performance for Delaney Everett, only surrendering 2 runs. Chafin, good swing there from Kansas Robinson. But to the backstop, she's done that a lot today. In the on-deck circle will still be Bridget Donahue, so no more changes to the Cats. It looked like they were putting just kind of random battles in to kind of end this game, but now that they might be able to stay in it, they're keeping their starters in. Kansas Robinson waiting for the pitch from Chafin. Chafin delivers. Good frame effort, but will not happen for Paige Erstes. Good attempt there, but Kansas Robinson with a good eye. 2-1 count here. Cats down 12-2 in the bottom of the 5th, looking to prevent a mercy rule from happening. Chafin with the pitch to Robinson. Chafin, Robinson with a swing down the left field line. Can Mississippi State get there?
Yep.
They can. And
That'll do it.
that will do it, I believe. If we are not mistaken, this is a 10-run game. And as far as I think that's over, unless there's some rule we don't know about. And yes, they're going into the handshake lines. A really good showing fan-wise and team-wise for the Wildcats. They have to be proud of the win. Of course, pitching a little bit concerning. Gruzielanek gave up a ton of runs on Friday and gave up a ton of runs today. Renee Cunningham looks no better. But you know what? You win some, you lose some, Tomas. You do that in life, and you do that on the softball diamond as well. But it was an honor to call this game with you. I had a ton of fun despite the cold. And all I can say is, just like Northwestern, as they're running into the locker room to avoid this permafrost, as is Mississippi State, I think that's what we will be doing as well. I'm not sure if we're going to be handing it over to Calvin Kaplan or not. If we are, you'll be hearing him shortly on the radio. If you're on YouTube, you should tune in there. Otherwise, the Cats lose 12-2 in the 3rd game of this 3-game series, the 2nd game of this doubleheader. Mississippi State wins. Gave a 7 spot in the 4th, a 3 spot in the 5th. Could have been better for the Cats, but they still have a lot of good takeaways, winning 1 of 3 in this series as they enter Big Ten play. And Tomas, do you know who they're going to be playing next game?
The next game, who they got?
Oh, it's the question.
That's the question. In the next game for the Northwestern Wildcats will be coming up soon at home. I know it's a home game. And the answer to your inquiry, the $1 million question, is the Northwestern Wildcats will be going up against Northern Illinois. It's not Big Ten.
Okay.
Northern Illinois here at home on Wednesday, March 26th at 4 p.m. Then they continue Big Ten play. They'll be playing a 3-game series at Minneapolis versus Minnesota.
Yes, okay. So we'll see you back then on the airwaves for WNUR. We will be on the call. We are the official radio home for Northwestern softball and Northwestern athletics. It's been a pleasure, Tomas. And again, once again, thank you to Calvin Kaplan. Here from Drysdale Field, a tough loss for the Cats, but a win to take away home. For Pierson, Strandquist, and Tomas Moran, we wish you a good afternoon, good night.
A good afternoon, a good day, a good rest of your week.
A good rest of your week sounds good. Enjoy your spring break if you are a student. If not, we hope to see you on Wednesday here at Drysdale Field.